Hey guys, my name is Nicholas Byrne. Growing up, I've always been a skinny kid. But despite that, I managed to look like this at 14 and this at 17. But how did I manage to transform this into that? Well, today I'll explain in 3 steps: training, diet, and consistency. Let's do it! Okay, first let's start off with a training split. And for those who don't know, training split is basically how you divide your workout throughout the week. I follow the most standard workout routine, push-pull legs, which I've been using consistently for the past 5 years and has got me pretty good results. So I'm not saying that it's the best or anything, but it's pretty good. But let's be honest, for 50% of you, this split is gonna be push and pull because you guys don't hit your legs. Hit your legs. Trust me, you do not wanna end up like this guy. What a loser. Okay, let's talk about what push-pull legs even means. Push means hitting chest, triceps, and shoulders. Pull means hitting back and biceps, and legs means hitting legs and abs. And I do push-pull legs 2 times a week, having a 1-day break in between each repeating cycle. So it kind of looks like this. Okay, first let's talk about my push routine, which I do on Monday and Friday. This routine is for guaranteed bigger boobies, so pay attention. I like to start off my workout with a pause bench press focusing on the lower chest, which I do for 3 sets from 5 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 2 to 3 minute rest interval in between. Pause bench, in my opinion, is just a better version of bench press just because of how much more it isolates your chest. Next, I follow that up with a primarily upper chest movement, the incline dumbbell press. I do this for 3 sets from 6 to 12 reps, all till failure, having a 2 to 3 minute rest interval in between. Now, you might be wondering what you do in this rest interval. A pretty popular option is playing Clash Royale, popularized by Sam Sulik, which, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good option, but I personally choose to contemplate my life. I have a lot of thoughts in the gym. Yep. Moving on, we have our last movement, fully isolating the chest, which is pec deck or chest flies. I like to finish off my chest by doing 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 14 reps, all to failure, having a 1 to 2 minute interval of rest in between each set. And that's pretty much it for my push days. So moving on to pull days, which give you that demon back, that Yujiro Hanma type back, all right? I'm not saying anything, but if you follow this routine, you might be flying away with your lats. It's pretty good. I recommend it because I've been doing it, so I might be biased, but I think my back looks pretty good. I really like to start off my back days with a compound movement, which is lat pull downs. Lat pull downs are like pull-ups, but it's more beginner friendly, and you can overload it a little easier, so I just do them. But pull-ups are also a great option. I do 3 sets of 5 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 2 to 3 minute interval of rest in between each set. Then I move on to a more upper back focused movement, the T-bar row. I like to do this for 3 sets for 5 to 12 reps, all to failure, again having 2 to 3 minute interval in between each set. And the last movement I like to do for my back is the single arm cable rows. These are so good for your back. Like, I feel like I have a ball of muscle that is just contracting when I do this. So if you do it right, you're really gonna feel it. So I like to do 3 sets of this, 5 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 1 to 2 minute interval of rest in between each set. And what you really wanna do is you really wanna feel it. This is not about lifting the most weight. This is about feeling the muscle. This is all about mind muscle connection in this movement. Next, I move on to the second part of the pull routine, which is just biceps. And I just do supinated dumbbell curls, 3 sets, 5 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 1 to 2 minute interval of rest in between. And then finally finish off with preacher curls, doing 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 1 to 2 minute interval of rest in between. And there we go. We're done with pull day. And lastly, the day that 50% of gym bros skip, leg day. Trust me, I understand how hard it is to walk upstairs or just to walk in general after a leg day, but you gotta do it. You don't wanna be one of those stick mans. Stick leg, big man. Yeah. Also, I do my legs Wednesday and Sunday. All right, so I like to get started with a compound movement, namely the hack squat or barbell squat. I usually just do the hack squat because it has less pressure on my lower back, and that's something that really bothers me. But if you don't, I would honestly recommend doing the barbell squat. So I'll do 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 3 to 5 minute rest interval in between each set. Hitting legs, especially hack squats to failure, is super exhausting. Like, I've had some friends who've tried to work out with me and hit legs and we go to absolute failure failure. We go to failure, we can't push up, then we do partials and stuff like that. And one of them threw up and one of them had to go home right after the hack squat set. So you really need a lot of time to rest in between each set. And also, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend to go absolute failure on hack squats or any compound leg movement just because your body's not used to it, but I would still train intense. The next movement I like to do is the seated hamstring curls, and I like doing this over the laying hamstring curls just because you get more of a stretch. I'll do 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 2 to 3 minute break in between each set. Next, I'll hop into leg extensions where I do 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps, all to failure, having a 2 to 3 minute interval in between each one. Also, just a quick note, for all of these workouts, on the last set, I drop set until I can't go anymore, so I'll probably drop set like 3 times. I especially do this on leg extensions because you really want your legs to be exhausted after this. And lastly, for my leg day, I do calf raises. I'll do 3 sets to 6 to 20 reps, all to failure, having a 2 to 3 minute rest interval in between. Now, there are 2 components in leg day, legs and abs, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people don't hit abs, even though it is a really important muscle group. And I don't even do any weights for ab workouts. I usually just do hanging leg raises, or I'll do crunches or something like that, just something body weight that really gets my abs strengthened. Don't neglect your abs, people. Get a strong core and your body will function so much better. Okay, now that training is out of the way, we are moving on to diet, which is arguably the most important part. Your whole body revolves around the way you eat. To put it simply, if you want to lose weight, you have to go into a calorie deficit, and if you want to gain weight, you have to go into a calorie surplus. And if you want to maximize the amount of gains you can get, you should prioritize protein, getting 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you have. But I know for a teenager, controlling your diet is hard because you have parents who love you and give you delicious food to eat all the time. But you really don't need a specific meal routine to get jacked. I mean, I've never had a specific meal routine and look at me. Man, I'm so buff. So how did I do it? I simply measure my weight and plan how I was going to eat accordingly. If I was too heavy, I would cut back on the high calorie dense foods and focus eating low calorie dense foods like vegetables and fruits. And if I was too light, I would go on more high calorie dense foods like avocados and nuts. Just a quick side tangent, the best way to lose weight is eating navel oranges. Like, these bad boys are like this big, they're pretty big, and they have like super low calories and they fill you up. Like, you could have like 5 of them and you'll be okay, and you'll probably be full or sick of eating. But what are low and high calorie dense foods? Low calorie foods are foods that have a lot of water content, so you get full without having a lot of calories. And on the opposite hand, high calorie dense foods are dense compared to the weight, making it so much easier to consume more food while gaining more weight. And on the opposite hand, high calorie dense foods are really dense compared to the weight, making it really easy to bulk up. If you're still confused on this, I have a full video on my homepage that you can go check out after this video. So yeah, so with this information, you should start looking at the calories each product has and start subsidizing it for a better option, whether you're trying to bulk or trying to cut. But even though your weight is controlled by calories in and calories out, it doesn't mean you can lose weight by eating a bunch of cookies even if you're in a deficit. Well, I mean, technically you can, but that's not the right way to go at it. You really need to have a balanced diet to really feel healthy and perform better. If you're on cookies, you're gonna perform like shit and your workouts are gonna be shit. So don't train on cookies and actually have a balanced diet, whether you're bulking or cutting. Also, I really want to emphasize how important protein is. Without protein, your body can't grow or recover muscles, so get your protein intake in. The general rule for this is about 0.7 grams to 1 gram per pound of body weight, so just try to aim for this. You can do it. Now onto the final, most important part, consistency. All that I've talked about today doesn't matter if you're not consistent with your training or your diet. The truth is, it took me 2 years to get a decent physique and 5 years to get where I am at now. I'm sure this is not your first time trying to get jacked. You probably had that 3 AM motivation and started working out for a week or 2 before you stopped. But that's not how you do it. And I'm sure you know that, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you that, but it's really not how you do it. Sure, there are motivational tricks like starting off small wins lead to big wins, or changing the goal from working out to putting on workout clothes, which are all really helpful, but it all comes down to self-respect. And what I mean by self-respect is having the respect for yourself to keep up with your wishes, whether that's being consistent with the gym or doing something else. Next time you feel like you don't want to go to the gym or you don't want to work out, I want you to record yourself and play it back. Really think about if that's the person you want to be, and really remember why you started working out in the first place. Keep going at it. In a month, you'll start seeing results. In 6 months, you'll start gaining confidence. And in a year, you'll start getting compliments. It's all about consistency and taking your time with it. And I know it's cliche, but you gotta enjoy the journey and not the results. That's what this whole workout thing is all about. Okay, that's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. Yeah, so good luck on all your journeys. I believe in you guys. You guys got it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.